Good morning, councillors, and welcome to the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting of the 10th of November 2020. I declare this meeting open at 9 a.m. I'd like to advise meeting attendees that this meeting is being audio recorded. Let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and their elders past, present and emerging. Before I move into the agenda, do any councillors have any leaves of absence to declare? There being none, I'll move straight to item 4.1 and ask David Radage, the Manager of Economic Development Economic Development and Strategy, to speak to his report. Before we move into discussion, do any councillors have any conflicts of interest they'd like to declare? Thank you. Take it away, David.
Through the Chair, the Economic Development and Strategy branch has prepared a draft Logan Central Civic and Community Precinct plan. The report talks to that plan, and we are seeking endorsement to undertake some non-statutory community engagement on the plan. The precinct plan itself is a visionary document. It's designed to provoke some conversations within the community so we can hear their views on what we're proposing. I'll hand over to Ella to talk in detail about the plan.
Thank you, Dave. Through the Chair. Just to provide some background on this precinct plan. So this project is one of the key outcomes from the Logan Central Summit held in 2018, and the development of this strategy is funded from the Logan Central Implementation Fund. Formed the foundation of this draft precinct plan. Engagement with a broad range of internal, council and external stakeholders was integrated in each step of the precinct planning process, which included 2 workshops, one-on-one discussions, review of documentation, and it should also be noted that we had to amend our consultation methodology because of the impact of COVID-19. So we had to look at new ways to engage and make sure that we capture all the feedback from stakeholders. The plan was therefore based on extensive consultation and will provide a long-term integrated vision for the precinct that support the development of a safe and healthy community and contribute to the development of a strong local economy through investment over 20 to 30 years. The precinct plan will capitalise on council-owned land through providing a framework for incremental development and the provision of either upgrade of existing and provision of new community infrastructure to enhance lifestyle, amenity and investment opportunities. Key strategies will open up and activate the much-loved Logan Gardens and will also provide a framework for the future development of a civic precinct. The plan aims to create a cohesive precinct, create new civic address and promote Logan Central as a multicultural destination of distinction that offers work and business opportunities, entertainment, arts and culture, sporting and recreational opportunities. The plan also identified a staged approach because obviously we won't be able to implement all of these actions in one short term. So it looks at increments of 10 years with a long-term vision of 30 plus years. It also makes recommendations of approximate budgets that's required to deliver the various projects. It also identifies potential funding sources. It's important to note that the idea is not that council will be responsible to fund all these activities and the various projects and infrastructures. The key ideas presented in the plan identify a number of big wins, small wins, and several potential priority projects. So why? Why are we doing this plan? Key outcomes from the plan include the following outcomes. It will optimize the functionality of Logan Gardens, but will also unlock an additional open space, public open space area of about 7,000 square meters. That's the equivalent of 11 soccer fields. It provides opportunities to increase the workforce in the precinct by up to 400 people. Implementation of key projects has the potential to create jobs between 300 and 400 permanent jobs and over 100 construction jobs. It will also result in improved accessibility through the creation of over 9.3 kilometres of shared paths and pedestrian paths, and also 338 additional car parking spaces that spread throughout the precinct. It will result in improved livability and amenity to attract people to live, work and play in Logan Central. Identifies the opportunities for another 300 people to live in the area. Future upgrades to sporting and community facilities has the potential to build a local workforce, increase health and service, and contribute towards the creation of a community hub in this precinct. Public realm upgrades through the creation of gathering spaces, landscape improvements can uplift value of properties in the area between 2.5% and 5%. So what are the next steps? The next step is now to seek input from the community and internal and external stakeholders on this draft plan. It's just a draft plan, and the idea is to gain insight into which projects and key moves do the local community see as key priorities to implement in the short term. It will also identify cost of those projects and provide opportunities to seek funding from state, federal government, as well as investors to invest into this precinct. Following the consultation process, we will update the precinct plan, refine the plan and the staging plan, and then come back to council with a final plan and seek endorsement for the final plan. So the recommendation of this report is just to seek council's endorsement to undertake community consultation, which is non-statutory, utilising existing resources and platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. I have questions from Councillor Lane.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. When this plan was first brought into me, I looked at it and Ella and her team were there and they were very gracious with their presentation. And I think one of the biggest things that we said was that consultation and bringing the community along on the journey is the right thing to do. It's also the biggest thing to do when you're looking to open such a large space. The plan is ambitious, it's achievable. It looks at options to open the civic area so that more people can drive in and enjoy the precinct. It actually acknowledges that that area is worth spending on. It gives a plan and says this is how much we're looking to achieve in this phase. It's not a big spend overall in terms of one-off hits. It's actually looking to progressively improve the park and bring everyone from my community along on the journey. And I would like to say a big thank you to Ella and her team, and I'm looking forward to presenting draft plans to community members at my mobile office at Logan Central Plaza every Thursday from 2:30 to 4.
Excellent plug.
But I think that getting that very frank feedback is an important part of it. We all have our own ideas and beliefs on what will benefit the community, but those living there really do matter. And it's not just the people living on the edge of the park, it's actually the whole community. The whole community doesn't use the park at present, and that's for a reason, and you're looking to improve that, and I just want to say thanks to your team.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Heremiah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I saw that future consultation will utilise existing resources. So my question is about past development. Has the organisation engaged any external suppliers to assist in the development of the draft Logan Central Civic and Community Precinct Plan?
Through the Chair, we've engaged a consultant to assist us with the development of the precinct plan. They're well-renowned urban designers, landscape architects, so assisted us to provide the overall consultation. We obviously work quite closely with them. The actual consultation with the community will be undertaken with assistance from our team, so with utilising existing team structures.
Thank you. And what was the estimated cost of that external?
I have to come back to you on the exact figure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Heremiah. Any further questions? Would someone like to move the report? Thank you, Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Hall. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That is carried unanimously. Councillors, that's the only report for the Economic Development and Strategy branch. David, do you have any general business for us?
Through the Chair, yes I do.
You may proceed.
I'm proud to announce that next Monday, the 16th of November, version 8 of the Logan Planning Scheme will commence. This is the first version of the planning scheme delivered under the new council's leadership, and I want to thank you all for your support during the past months as we meet this significant milestone. I just wanted to outline some highlights from version 8 of the planning scheme, which will be go live on the 16th of November. So we've looked to reduce some red tape around small-scale breweries to open up in our centres close to restaurants and bars to try to support the nighttime economy in Logan. So when we held our summits, our 6 city centre summits, some of the key themes from those summits were there's not too much to do in Logan after dark. So we're hoping that with the reduction of some red tape, we may see some investment in those centres and people to have places to eat and drink at night. We're looking to protect the jobs of the future. So in Berrinba, we've limited the non-industrial activities in that area. So we won't have industries clashing with activities like retirement villages or schools. We're looking to enhance our local heritage register to make it easier to learn more about the rich history of Logan. We've put restrictions on crematoriums to ensure they are built only in industrial areas. We're updating our maps to ensure that the latest property boundaries, so the cadastral boundaries as a result of subdivisions, are accurate. And we're going to prepare some material to distribute to the councillors so you can share some content on social media. So it's a great milestone for the city. Version 8 of the planning scheme go live 16th of November.
Thank you, Dave. That's great news. Councillor Bradley had a question on that.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear that and looking forward to the information that you will send to us. But that wasn't why I put my hand up. Can I ask a general business question?
He's just got one more general business item, then I'll take that one at the end if that's okay, Councillor Bradley. Carry on, Dave.
Through the chair, so this council set a bold ambition for us to undertake some community engagement on our economic development strategy. Just for context, doing community engagement on economic development strategies isn't common. It's not something that this council has done before in its previous economic development strategy. When I speak to my colleagues in Gold Coast, Brisbane, it's not typically something that those councils do when they're undertaking their economic development strategy, but we're doing it. Community engagement is really important to this council, and that's what we've done. So I just wanted to provide an update on where we're at with our community engagement on the new economic development strategy. So we have completed our 8 online focus groups, and we had some good uptake within those focus groups. We didn't quite meet the 30 per focus group, but we got a good amount of people engaged there. So just some general themes from the focus group, that there was optimism amongst the community for investment within Logan. They feel that Logan is still a thriving economy. Some of the matters that came out of those focus groups were around the improved connectivity and public transport between centres and how that can support people finding work. We'll be providing a rundown of the community consultation to council once it's complete. At the moment, we've got the economic developments discussion paper on Have Your Say, and we'll come back to council with what the community has had to say, and we will be planning to have a more in-depth community engagement event early next year on the economic development strategy. So really pushing for community engagement on this. This council endorsed it to be a grassroots economic development strategy, and we're really interested to hear the feedback from the community.
Thanks, Dave. Councillor Bradley had general business for you.
Thank you. I was actually going to ask about the Springwood online focus group, which happened last Wednesday. I made a decision a couple of hours beforehand after speaking with the chair that I wouldn't actually attend that online because I didn't want to influence what people wanted to say. So I'm very interested in the frank conversations that were had.
Are you able to provide notes from that meeting to the councillor?
Through the chair, yes, we'll provide a rundown of all the community feedback to all of the councillors once it's completed.
Fantastic. Mayor Power.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. David, just want to ask a question in regard to the town plan. Once it's been submitted, is there a culture then of this is the council's attention that you identify applications through that intent, or is there some controlling situation where we actually have to continue to operate under the old town plan?
So through the chair, so once the town plan is adopted, it's the operative town plan. There is a 12-month period where people can submit under the previous version of the town plan.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Any further general business for Dave? No? Thank you very much, Dave. Great work. Councillors, I'm going to move to item 7.1 next, which is the strategy for resolving a development offence relating to unlawful vegetation clearing. So I'll call Stephen Ball, the Development Assessment Manager, to come up. Before I do that, do any councillors have any conflicts of interest they'd like to declare in relation to this matter? No? This report is a confidential report, and it's considered necessary to take the discussion of this report into a closed session, as the confidential background papers include confidential information relating to proposed legal proceedings and legal strategy. Do any councillors wish to move into closed sessions for this item? Thank you, Councillor Bradley. Would someone like to second that motion? Thank you, Councillor Bennon. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That has been carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Let me scroll forward. That motion is carried. The meeting is now closed to the public. I'd ask the gallery move out of the room while we discuss the matter, and we'll bring you back in once the discussions have ended. Welcome back to members of the gallery. The motion is on the screen. Do I have someone who would like to move that motion? Thank you, Councillor Bradley, seconded by Mayor Power. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That is carried unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. That is the only report for the Development Assessment Manager. Stephen, do you have any general business for us?
Through the chair, no, I don't.
Councillors, do you have any general business for Stephen? No? Fantastic. Great work, guys. Thank you very much, and keep it up. I'll now call for the Director of Innovation and City Transformation to come forward for item 5.1, which is the Logan Collab operating model and occupation arrangements. I believe Dr. Matheson is coming up as well to support him. Councillors, before I move into discussion on this report, does anyone have any conflicts of interest they'd like to declare? I note that this is a confidential report, and that it may be necessary to take the discussion of this item into closed session, as the background documentation includes information related to the parties and to an outcome of negotiations related to contract proposal to be entered into by council. I went too fast last time on going into confidential, so I'm going to go slower for the benefit of the meeting clerks and give them a chance to catch up with me. Have you got the resolution that you want me to speak on the screen? Have you got the motion? There we go. Councillors, the motion is on the screen that the meeting be moved into closed session at 9:25 pursuant to section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulation